is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today we are reviewing AD ASTRA. So AD ASTRA was directed by James Gray, and it stars Brad Pitt, and it tells the story of Roy McBride, an astronaut who must undertake a journey through the vastness of the solar system to uncover the truth about his missing father, whose failed expedition 30 years ago is now threatening the entire universe. Jumping right into my positives, positive number 1, Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's performance in this movie is by far the best he's ever given in his entire career. It is a career best performance. And that really surprised me because I've loved his work before. He's really funny, he's very charismatic, but he's never really given the performance, you know, like the performance that just hits you right there. I mean, I haven't seen Seven, but the stuff I have seen, he is amazing in that movie, but I haven't seen it, obviously. So as of right now, this is his best performance. He just really captured the emotion that his character was going through. I really sympathized with him throughout the entire thing. Positive number 2, you've heard the critics say it, you've heard everyone say it, the cinematography. This movie is probably the most gorgeous looking movie I've ever seen. I'm not even kidding. This movie looks incredible. The opening shots of Earth with these astronauts on this space station was just mind-blowing. We were sitting like one row back from the front row, basically sitting right up there by the front on this huge screen that just kind of curves a little bit. We're just sitting there and the camera just pans out from the space station. You just see Earth in its entirety, and my mouth literally dropped. I was just like, wow. The cinematography in this movie really just takes your breath away. Especially one chase scene on the moon. It's hard to make that sound normal, but there's a chase scene on the moon that was shot incredibly well, and the sound design was also perfect. Positive number 3, the visual effects. I talked about the cinematography, but I gotta talk about these visual effects. Every single frame in this movie looks real. It looks real. I genuinely believed that these people were in space. Do you remember the movie Gravity? Obviously, this movie is being compared to Gravity quite a bit, but it looks better than that movie. And I'm not kidding. I know that movie put the actors in front of actual screens. This movie, I'm not sure what they did. It might have been a combination of screens and green screens, but I think this movie looks better than Gravity. I just felt like I was in space. Positive number 4, you might be surprised to hear this, but nevertheless, it is the pacing. People are saying that it's slow, it's a slow burn, it's just a boring movie. What? I thought the pacing was perfect for a movie like this. This is a character study. It's not supposed to be non-stop action, non-stop just fast-paced, hour and 20-minute throw into theaters movie. No, this is a serious, slow burn character study. I thought the pacing was great in every single scene. Positive number 5, the emotion. Now, I'm not gonna say what this movie's message is yet, but the emotion of it, the emotion that it gives to these characters, even before it's really clear what the message is, it's just so heartbreaking, but it's also very inspiring in a way. Because Brad Pitt's character strongly believes that his father is dead. And it's really hard for him to accept the fact that, hey, maybe he's still alive. When he's recollecting his childhood with his father and how little he really knows about him, it really just, like, punches you right there, you know? I'm not gonna lie. It pulled at my heartstrings a little bit. In fact, I did shed one tear. Positive number 6, the character development. Like I already said, this is a character study, and like all character studies, it is imperative that the character development is amazing. The character development in this movie is far from amazing. It is like just godly. I don't think I've ever seen a movie with better character development of this genre. And no, not the sci-fi genre. I'm talking about the drama, but dealing with grief and not wanting to accept things that might be true. This movie has the best example of how to do character development right, in my opinion. I'm moving through these positives kind of fast. You'll see why, though. Positive number 7, the philosophical aspect. There are some deep, and I mean deep, philosophical themes throughout this movie. And I know I keep on saying this, but it really hits you. I keep on saying it, but it really does. I have not talked to a single person who walked out of this movie not being emotionally affected. It goes as far to ask questions about our existence. What is the purpose of the human race? Are we the only life in this solar system? It just explores them so deeply, deeper than any other movie, really. Because other movies have treaded on that ground, but for some reason always hold back because because I guess they don't want to offend some audience members. No. This movie is not afraid to take that next step. It goes into those themes. It goes as deep as it can. Positive number 8, the tone. Every single space movie obviously takes place the majority in space. But something I've noticed about all space movies is none of them ever really give me the feeling of what space is really like, you know? Just the vastness of it all, just a black void. This movie, however, wow, it really embraced that. I'm not even kidding when I tell you this. There were scenes in this movie where I wanted to look away. It made me uncomfortable. Not because there's violence or gore or anything, just because it really showed you the emptiness that space is. And just the idea of just floating out into an infinite void. I mean, do you get how terrifying that is? You know what's funny? I've mentioned several times on this channel that I'm claustrophobic and that I really don't like being trapped in tiny spaces. But then now I'm saying I don't like being trapped in vast, infinite, open spaces. So where do I feel safe? Right here, in my room, talking to you guys. However, if the rules of Hush apply, I guess I'm not safe no matter where I go. Positive number 9, the character arcs. This kind of ties into the character development, but with that positive, I was talking about just the development throughout the story. This, I'm talking about the arcs. At the finale of this movie, at the climax, the things that these characters realize and have to accept, especially Brad Pitt's character, because it's Brad Pitt's movie. This is 100% his movie. And so when his character reaches the eventual arc, it is just so powerful, and that's when the message really becomes clear. And it will affect everyone. It doesn't matter if you can relate to this film's themes or not, it will affect you. It was just the most powerful thing I've seen in a movie since I can't even remember. I'm not over-exaggerating, guys. Seriously, Brad Pitt's realization during the climax of this movie, and then how he goes through with it, is just some of the most shocking stuff. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect him to do that, but he did it, and man, it was quite the twist. Positive number 10, I've already kind of explained it, but the ending. Like I said, this ending is so shocking. I did not expect him to do this at all, but he did. And I was just sitting there because right before the big twist happens, you feel like you can predict it. So you predict it and you're like, oh, well, that's predictable. And then it starts leading up to and you're like, yeah, see, this is just going through the motions. And then the actual climax happens and you're just like, oh. It really took me by surprise, and it was so emotionally powerful, so deeply affecting. Well, guys, that wraps up my positives for Ad Astra. Guys, I'm gonna say it. I have no negatives with this film, which means Ad Astra is officially the 3rd film on my channel to get a 10 out of 10, which brings us to an A+ on the grading scale, which also means this movie is getting the Zachem Award. This movie is just incredible. It's so good. I mean, when I got home from watching this, I was debating, should I just do a normal review like I normally do standing in front of my TV, or should I do a more analytical video about it? I decided on the normal review because if I were to do an analytical video, my phone and my Mac just wouldn't be able to take the storage. That would be like a 2-hour-long video, but I just adore this movie. I absolutely love it. And Academy, I'm warning you right now, if you don't nominate this movie for Best Picture, yeah, I said it, Best Picture, if it doesn't even get nominated, because you can choose 10 movies, okay? You have 10 movies to choose from. If this movie isn't one of those, I'm giving up, okay? I'm giving up on you. Because the nominations this year for the Best Pictures of 2018 were just... what? So, this is your chance to gain redemption and have me forgive you for the disaster that was the 2019 Oscars and nominate this movie, at least nominate it for Best Picture. And you might as well just throw in Brad Pitt's nomination for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep writing, keep shooting, and keep editing.